Okay, guys, last week we were discussing about SQL Server, how to create the table that we discussed. So, before we go in depth about SQL concepts, I would like to show you how front end and back end will work. Then, once if you are familiar with that, then we will discuss more concepts in the SQL Server. Okay. So last week we have discussed different types of commands we have. And this week, what I will do is I will create a table and I will show you how to insert the data, update the data into respective table and how to delete the record. That part I will show you. And probably tomorrow and the next class, we will discuss in detail about the SQL Server, how the things are working. Yeah, last week I remember Dinesh was asking about the Python class. And sorry, Dinesh,
Yeah,
the Python classes are occupied for now when the number that we expect and promised to the parents of the group that is reached. Maybe in a month, we will start another Python batch and I will inform you again. But
okay,
the
sir.
yeah, Python is not free, but nominal fee we will keep it because we would like to keep it else guys are not taking serious. Even we need to generate some revenue for institute as well. But nominal fee we maybe keep it, but in the month of mid, we are planning to start new batch. Then I will inform you again. Yeah, thank you, Dinesh. Thank you for asking that. Okay. So, do you remember what is the database you have created last time? We have created, yeah, I think EasyTech. No, okay. .NET Learners is the batch. Okay. So this was the table we have created last week. Let me drop it. I will create it again. A few more things I would like to explain to you. Okay. So to drop the table, right click on it, delete. Okay. Just click on delete. The table will be deleted from the structures. Okay. So the DML operation, the first part is we have to create a table. So basically the keyword create, this one is used to create new instance in the SQL server. Something to be created new, then we have to use. As of now, as per your current knowledge, creating new means only table. Maybe in future we will be discussing about create a view, create a storage procedure, and create a function. Like this, many things we will discuss in future. But at this moment, you are comfortable with the table only. Okay. So create any new instance. We have to use the create keyword. Now let us see. Now we have a task. The task is we have to create a table. Name of the tables is user. In this table, I need the columns user ID and username, email address, and class. Okay, let me take few columns because this is to understand the functional architecture front end and back end so that I'm not taking more columns. I'm not taking the password also because as of now, there is no benefit of it. But you can imagine like this. Okay, user ID, name, email, and class. So in this table, uh, first, we have to use the keyword create to create a new instance. Then when you said a create, like I said, there are many things that we create. We maybe create a table, we maybe create a view, we maybe create a storage procedure. As of now, you know what is table only. In future, you will be learning what is view, what is storage procedure, what is function as well, like I said. If we are creating a table, we have to use the keyword table. Then what is the name you would like to use it for your table? To my table, I would like to use the name users. Okay. So in the users table, what are the columns you need? First one is the user ID is the column name. And what is the data type that you are expecting for this user ID? at this moment int. Okay. To this column, I'm adding another entity. I will let you know what is this identity in a minute. I will come back to this part. Okay, like this. Okay, then what is username? What, don't take the workers because still we don't discuss the data types. So take character. Character means alphabets. And email address, character of how many characters you need. Basically, I need up to 250 characters. And class, which class you are studying, character of 10. Like this, you have taken. Okay. So once if you write the table, there are two ways to run it. If there is only single query, see the others are commented, go and execute this one directly, or else you can select that command which you wanted to execute. Am I recording? So select the command which you would like to execute, click on execute. Okay, so this one will be executed. If you would like to see the table, right click, refresh the new table you have created, you can see it. Okay, like this. Here, I have added one additional line identity. Say, my expectation of this one is it has to store the information in this format. Okay, I have to store the information in this format. User ID, username, email address, and class. So this is the format of the table I'm expecting. Here, username I will key in manually. Okay, you key in manually like this. Password hr at the rate easytech.org and class btech. Like this, I can configure. However, user ID is the default one to the first user. To the second user, I will only key in the username, email address, other things only. This one I need not be give every time from my end. It has to be auto incremented. It has to be auto incremented. So every time I will pass these three values only, username, email address, and class. However, the user ID automatically need to be incremented from the previous value. That is what the meaning of the identity. So basically, this column, we don't need to fill it manually. Whenever you start a new row, this one will be automatically added. You just need to key in these three values only. So that is the meaning of the identity. Then 1 comma 1 means it has to start with number 1, means it has to start with 1. Maybe I don't want to start with 1. I would like to start with 100. Then instead of 1, you have to keep 100. So where it has to start the series, first one, last one, like this. So I choose 1 comma 1. That is the general standard anyone will follow. Then what is the difference between one ID to another ID? Maybe if I am expecting like this 100, 101, 102, 103 like this, then I have to give 1 comma 1. Not like this. I would like to give the number series like this 100, 102, 104, 106 like this. Then instead of giving 1, you should give 2. Then what happens is it will start from 100. It will keep on increasing two numbers to between two rows. So that is the our definition. So, but generally, I never saw defining like that, but always we saw using this kind of architecture 1 comma 1. Now, right click on your table, go to edit top 100 rows. See, this user ID I cannot enter now. If I try to enter, it won't accept. But I will try to enter my username, EasyTech, EasyTech at the rate what G class BTech. Now just go to the second row, just press tab. The user ID automatically taken as the one. See, one is automatically come. Then I will enter username only. Test user, email address test at the rate gmail.com and class BSc. Like this, two automatically have come. So that is the meaning of the identity column. This is always good practice. Identity column designed first and make it as the identity, okay, and it would be auto incremented. I for IDs, those kind of things we will keep it. Maybe in future we will keep it as primary key, we will keep it as unique key, okay, like this. But these things I will discuss in tomorrow class. I don't want to touch today, but today you have to understand what is user ID. Okay, so to insert values into this table, now just select the table, click select start from C, two records, we can find it. However, generally this is for our practice. Okay, you guys can use this for practice to insert the values like this, but in traditional or the real-time programming, we never use that kind of pattern. We have to insert using the queries only. So something need to be put into the table, then we have to use a keyword insert. Okay, insert into table, which table you are trying to insert. So there are two ways to insert the values. Okay, there are two ways to insert the values. Insert into users. Okay, users. Give the best practice like this. Insert into users. Not sure works or not, but let me try. Insert into user values. Give what are the values. So what is the username you would like to use? Test one. And what is the email address you would like to use? Test1 at the rate gmail.com. And third one, what is the class you are studying? I'm studying MBA. Okay, so this is one way. Now what happens is, whatever values you are giving, it will try to map with the respective columns. Test one will take the first column, email address, it should take the second column, class should take with the next column. I have some doubt, but let me execute it. Okay, anyway, it's working. So this is one way. Maybe at this moment, I don't want to insert the class. I would like to do it in future for some reason. At this moment, I would like to key in only username and email address. Then how would you like to do it? You need to do it in this format. Insert into users. If you would like to insert the values into selected columns, instead of inserting into all the columns, if you would like to insert into selected columns, after the table name, give the names of the columns you would like to insert. I would like to insert username. So username I have given. Then email address you have to give. These two only I would like to insert at this moment. Then values, okay, values, and key in the respective values. So what is the username you would like to insert? At this moment, I would like to insert test2 as the username and email address is test2 at the rate gmail.com and close it. Okay. Now what happens is, see, if you select this table now, see how many values we have, three values. But in this query, what I'm doing, I'm trying to insert only two, username and email address. The third one will take the null value. Okay. Now select this command again. See, the third one occupies the null. What is null? If you don't know at this moment, ignore it. We have discussed it about null when we discuss the data types in C#.NET, but we will discuss again along with the constraints or the data types. Okay. So these are the two ways to insert the values. At this moment, follow this approach. And this is for your knowledge. As of now, our current example, we will say this. Okay. So like this, we have to insert the values in backend. Okay. Right. Now, what is the thing here is, You have backend table. You have backend table. In this table, you have the columns. Okay, in this table, you have the columns. Okay, in this table, you have the columns, ID, whatever, like this we have. So I don't want to write them, but I will map them. Okay, user ID, email address, class. Uh, Imagine user ID somewhere around like this. So like this, columns are mapped. Now what you need, you have to fill this information from the front end. Okay, from the front end. Okay, so okay, see, as of now, you have 5 rows. The sixth row, I would like to insert it from the .NET. Okay, I would like to insert it from the .NET. Now, let us see how to start with that. Okay, so you have created a table and backend. You know how to insert the values from backend. Now, I'm trying to do that using front end. That is what ADO.NET and real-time applications, like I said. Okay, so this we have to do using Windows applications. Okay, so create new application. So Windows app I'm taking, click on next. Okay, ADO first app. I'm giving it the name as the ADO first app. Click on create, click on next. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to design the form. The In order to fill the data into backend, we have to design the form. So what is the form required? If you would like to fill the information into this table, we need a text box to take the username, email address, and class. So according to, we have to design the form. So just check out. And again, I am requesting you all, don't focus on the technology and the program because I will take separate part to explain the program. My intention is to make you clear what is IDEO.NET, how it is working. Okay. So first thing is I have to design a form. How I need to design a form is just go to your toolbox like earlier. Okay, toolbox. Let me draw 3 labels. One, two, three. Okay, 3 labels will come. Just put them in order. Change this name. Okay, these things already we know. So enter text place and just write username. Means you need to enter your username. Or else to understand more, you can enter full text also. Enter username. The second one, enter email address. Okay, enter email address. Follow the case sensitive camel case like this. Okay, and enter class. Okay, 3 labels I have taken. Now I need to take 3 text boxes for all these 3 values. I have to key in them, right? So I will take 3 text boxes. Okay, so text box, text box, and text box. Okay, 3 text boxes I will take. Okay, so I need a button. When I click on the button, the data has to save to the database. Okay, here name it as this Great. Okay, so this is the front end. I have designed the front end. Now what you need, enter your first username, email address, class in your .NET application. Click on the save option. When you click on the save option, whatever the information you are trying to enter, it has to be saved into users table. So that is the meaning of the front end and back end. As a end user client, you can see the front end only. You need not be knowing about what happens when you click on the save. Not only save, any registration click in any other page, whenever you click on the registration, it will automatically save it to the database. Okay, so that database in our example is the MS SQL server. Maybe some people will use the Oracle or MySQL, that pattern is same. So for that, we have to write the code in .NET, how to take the information from here, how to fill the data into this SQL Server software. Now, in order to do that, first let me close it. I would like to close it. See the pattern first, how I will open an SQL Server, because initially when I log into my system, how I will open the SQL Server, how I write the query, the same pattern need to be executed using um, .NET also. So first what I will do, I will search for the SQL Server, SQL Server Management Studio, like this. Okay, so I have to initiate this stuff. So same stuff I have to do. Yeah, let it be open. So SQL Server Management Studio software is open. Still, we do not log in. Okay, we do not log in. Okay, so in order to open your SQL software from your .NET application also, what you need is go to the form, okay, go to the form, okay, see if we can import a namespace using, give me a second, it's not responding. The backspace is not working, don't know. It is working here. But on Visual Studio, backspace is not working. I don't know. This is new to me. My God. Yeah, let me close it and open it again. This is strange. Enter is not working. Nothing is working. Yeah. Maybe due to this one, I guess. Yeah, guys, my keyboard is not responding. Let me close the program and let me reopen it. Okay, so using namespace, you import the namespace. The name of the namespace that works with SQL Server is system.out. data.sql client. You need this namespace. So basically what this namespace is, it is just similar to you are ready to work with the SQL software. So this is first time I went it here. I just opened the SQL Server software. Okay, SQL software. So whatever I did here, by keeping this one is the same. Basically, what is system.data.sql client is, if you would like to connect with an SQL server as the backend, if you would like to connect with an SQL server in the backend, then we have to use this namespace. This will contain all required methods to work with the SQL server. Maybe if you are working with Oracle SQL server, you have to use the Oracle client. Okay, I'm not sure MySQL exists because we never work. It's not working. See, you do have other things, ODBC, OLEDB, that kind of things. Let it be ignored. Nowadays, no one is using them. But I will give you one example on that part as well when we get a chance. But for now, we are using SQL client. Okay, so this will open a Visual Studio like this, software like this. But if you would like to work with SQL Server, what you need to key in the credentials. So I am taking SQL Server authentication. My password, my login name is Kanna. Maybe my password is like this. Kanna at the rate 123, I guess. Yeah. So that is my password. So unless I key in those credentials, suppose if I disconnect, okay. So if I don't key in this credential, suppose if I use a different wrong password, I cannot connect. So .NET is the independent application. It has no direct relation with the SQL server. So what happens is in system.data.sql client, we have a class. That class will open a connection with the SQL server. See here, I have to key in login password. I need to click on connect. Then a bonding, a working nature is established between me and my SQL server. In similar fashion, from the .NET also, you have to perform the same task. Without key in username and password, you cannot write anything there. So here also, you have to write the same thing. For that purpose, we have some predefined classes in system.data.sql client. Okay, double click on it. Okay, here you have to write the code. See, first thing, you have to import the namespace. Once if you import the namespace, the first thing you have to do is the connect with the SQL connection. Connect SQL connection. Okay, SQL connection. So how do you connect SQL connection is in system.data.sql client class, in system.data.sql client namespace, there is a class SQL connection. If it does not work, what you need. So it has to indicate the class actually. There is one class. If it does not work, go to the NuGet packages. By the way, ignore if you don't know what is NuGet packages, but do like this. Yeah, see system.data.sql client. Click on it, select it, click on install. I will let you know guys what is NuGet package and all, but for now follow this process. Just accept whatever pop-ups it will give. Okay, so once if you do that, again import the namespace using system dot data.sql client, import it, then start writing SQL connection. See, now you can say this class SQL connection, CONN. So you just need to create object for the SQL connection class. Now, can someone tell me? I'm expecting responses from you guys. What is SQL connection? Anyone can try to figure it out? In terms of the .NET, what do we call it? SQL server. Sorry, SQL connection. You guys can speak out, unmute and speak out. Yeah, it will connect to the database, but what it is, so what is SQL connection exactly? It would helpful to connect with database. But what is this? Is that method? Is that property? Is that class? Is that object? How do you find it? Okay, so Schrager says object.
It is a class and object.
Yes. Okay, see, SQL connection is the class. Okay, class. See, that's what I told you. Object-oriented concept, you need to practice it, you need to understand it, or else we cannot work further. Okay, so like Rani said, this will help to connect with the database, and SQL connection is the class. Which class? A predefined class in which namespace system.data.sql client. Like I said before, if you don't remember what is namespace, what is class, what is object, there is no benefit of learning going forward. Okay, you have to practice, then only you will understand it. Okay, so SQL connection. See, if you focus your mouse on SQL connection, clearly it says class system.data.sql client SQL connection. Okay, like this. So you have created object to SQL connection. So basically what this will do is, this will try to connect with the SQL server. It will try to open the SQL software to write the queries. But what you need in order to open the SQL software, you need some information. What is that information? You need to know what is user ID. My user ID is Kanna. And what is database you would like to connect? Say, once if you open the software, where would you like to write the queries? I would like the queries in .NET Learners. Okay, in .NET Learners. Okay, so once if you open the connection, you need to write what is the database name, that is .NET Learners. Okay, and server. Okay, what is the server? See, server, I told you, like, just connect, copy the name here and keep that server name. Okay, so basically what SQL connection class will do is, it will try to open the connection with the SQL server from your .NET frontend. Okay, so this will take the primary information which is required to open the query with your SQL server. Then just need to open the connection. Now what happens is, after finishing this line, your .NET software in the backend, it will open the connection. Okay, it is ready to write the new query in .NET Learners database. So that information I have provided along with the connection class. Okay, so up to this, all of you are clear? And try to understand the pattern of the code, what is front end and what is back end. And about these classes, I will explain it again, SQL connection and all. Okay, so I have opened the connection with the SQL server. Then I need to write the query. Okay, so what is the query I need to write? I would like to insert the values into, okay, I would like to insert the values into, okay, insert into users, right? Users. Okay. So what are the column names you would like to insert? I would like to insert the values into Okay, so I would like to insert the values into users table. And what are the columns? Username and email address and class, what class they are studying, like this. Then followed by the query values. And what are the values you would like to insert? Test y, testy@gmail.com, and class MCA. Okay, like this. When you click on execute, the query will be executed. Now, I have to frame this query in the front end, because from the front end, I have to execute it. Okay, so come to here. Okay, come to here. Write your query. Okay, write your query. From front end, how do you write the query? Okay, query is equal to, here you have to write your query. Okay, so in order to understand this, okay, string query equal to declare a query. Copy this query from here, put it here like this. Okay, right. So after writing this, the first thing we need to understand where I am trying to key in my username. Okay, I am trying to key in my username into this text box. Rename them, rename the values. So this text box name, I will keep it as the text username. To the second one, I will name it as the text email. And this one, I will name it as the text class. Okay, like this. Okay, now compare. See, this type of query, I have to write it, but my intention is whatever username I will give it, whatever email class I will give it in the text boxes, it has to replace in the backend table. So the sample query I have copied to here. Now, this is not the static username. It has something to be taken from the interface. Okay, interface. So what you should do is use plus concatenation. Okay, like this. Text uname.text. Now at runtime, what happens is when you try to run the application in this query, whatever name that you are giving in username part, that will replace this text box value. I will show you that one also, how this one is replacing. In similar fashion, let me replace, okay, let me replace the email address as well. Text email dot text means in the text email text boxes, whatever value you are giving, that will replace this value. And same thing for, okay, same thing for text text class dot text. So basically what I did is I'm trying to frame. Okay, I hope my full screen is available. Okay, so I'm trying to frame a query similar to backend. In the backend, I know query how to write it. I just put that query here. And instead of passing the static values like this in backend, I'm trying to concatenate them with the uh, front-end text boxes where I will enter the information. So if you don't remember what is concatenation, how plus symbols are working, they just go back to previous sessions and try to get it. But here I will show you how this one will be converted. So using this, what you do it is you write a query. You write a query. Say, I write this query. Okay, I write this query, text XYZ, MCA. I write the query, but it will not be executed. Okay, it will not be executed. In order to execute that, you need to go this part. You need to click on execute. This action we need to perform from the front end. in the front end, you have a class which is called as the SQL command class. So basically, what SQL command class can do is it can take the query from your front end. It will take the query from your front end. After taking the after taking the query from front end, it will try to connect with your database using the connection. See, you have the connection. Using this connection, it will try to identify the server credentials and the database where it needs to go. It has address to go. Okay, so that address it will connect. After going to this address, whom you would like to connect, I would like to connect with the user's database. That is the query. So basically, what SQL command will do is SQL command will take your connection, means it will identify the connection. It will identify the query to be executed, which query to be executed. So this SQL command will go to this SQL connection and it will execute this query. This query is inserting new values and this is the connection string. Okay, so this is ready to execute. Now what you need to click on execute to run this query. Okay, to run this query in similar fashion in the backend also just write cmd dot execute non-query. Okay, what is non-query? I will let you know. But after executing this line, means this line is exactly similar as you click on this execute button. See, when you click on the execute button, as of now, how many rows I have? 7 rows. Okay, now let me try to put the new data like this. Okay, like this. Now I write the query, but if I look at the table, still I have 7 records only. Now execute. Now come to here, execute, the 8th record will come. Now, this is exactly similar as the way you click on the execute. When you click on the execute, how new row will be added. Here also new row will be added. Now, first what we do is, let me run this program first. Let me show the output. Then I will debug the code. I will show you all the remaining parts also. Run this. Okay, so enter username. So let me give Dinesh username. Okay, so Dinesh email address, dinesh@gmail.com and enter class mtech. Okay, so try to click on save. I forgot giving the password. It needs password to open the connection. Ring executed, but let us check it. Go to your backend, run the table. See, the new record is inserted. Now what happens? Let me give few other names. Naresh, naresh@gmail.com and completed MCA. Click on save option. Okay. So whenever you click save here, the new record keep on adding here. You don't need to open the software also. See, I said real-time applications, right? This is my intention of explaining you what is the real-time application. Now what we will do, you will design a registration form like this. You will give a URL to all your clients. Come and register here. So they will fill this form, means their information is storing to that form. So let me give the other names. Sai, You don't need it to open the SQL software also. sai@gmail.com, btech, click on save. And so as many as you want, you can use. Okay. See, once if you do that, you don't need backend. You don't need to open it backend. Okay. So you will give it to client for all your clients. You will give it. Suppose if you are working in a college, if you would like to enter all your student names, we don't use Excel. We will give them a software like this, and we will do the coding. We will put all the information into SQL server. The attender who is entering the information, they can see this one only, the front end form. They don't need to know about the back end, what is happening in the back end. And the information is highly secured, highly stored in the back end. Okay, once open the SQL software again. I have closed it before to show you how it is working. Okay, so let me open it. Okay, so run this table. See all the rows you have inserted, you can see them. Okay, now see the debugger how it works. Put the debugger. Okay, so I will try to fill in other information. Meghana. Okay, btech. Click on save. See, it will come to this line. Open the connection. Connection is open. Now see line number 31. When I try to focus on query, as of now, query is null. Go to one step forward. Now focus your mouse on query. See, if you look at this query, query the text, username, email address, values, the text box value, text box one dot text value, that will replace with the given keyword, Meghana, and email. Everything will be replaced. Now, you can copy it actually. Just copy it and go to your backend. Just put it here. This is what we saw, right? This is the way we write the query in the backend. The same thing we are trying to construct the query in front end also. But instead of giving the static values, I am taking the values from the respective text boxes. Okay. See, now it went to the SQL command, press F10. See, as of now, 33 is not completed. If you look at your backend, okay, if you look at your backend, see if the record exists, whatever we key in, okay, whatever we key in, the data not exist yet. Okay, so this is still executing. Now, cmd.execute non-query. Pass this line. Okay, pass this line. Now execute this line. Execute this query. Now, see, okay, I don't know. The Meghana record, it should come at the end. But what reason it come in the middle, I am not sure. But see, the Meghana record is inserted. Meghana@gmail.com, btech is inserted. So you have to be clear. If you don't write this line, query will not be executed. Okay, now what I will do is, let me take it. Let me comment out this line. Whatever line is there, let me comment out this line. Okay, so Niharika. Okay, MCA. So see, now execute all the lines over. See, if you look at, you cannot find the record in backend. So you don't see this record. Last we have 13. 13 only still exists the highest number. You don't see that record. Okay, now let me take this line back. Okay, so let me take this line back like this. Now run the query. Okay, now fill the information. Okay, MCA. Click on save. See, now go forward. See, as soon as execute non-query, you found here. See, the 14th record is inserted. Niharika inserted. Okay. So in that way, it works. Okay. So here there are few things we need to understand. Okay. Suppose after executing this line, how would I know the record is actually inserted or not? Okay. In order to show it, I will give you a different example. I will try to write an update command. Of course, we do not discuss. Just take break for 10 minutes. Then we will continue discussing. Not 10 minutes, take 5 minutes. Already we have wasted 10 minutes in the beginning. Okay, so we take one. Like this, I have entered. See, try to observe what is the thing that goes here. Execute your command. Execute your command. See, you need to observe this particular area below. Execute your command. It is showing one row affected. Okay, one row affected. This means there is a change in the database table. Okay, there is a change in the database table. One change in the database table. At this moment, you don't know update command. Okay, you don't know update command, but I will write the command and try to see the pattern, what is happening here. Update users set class equal to, okay, class equal to test, where class equal to, not where class equal to, where user ID equal to 10. So my intention is in this table, okay, in this table, roll number 10. What is the class for roll number 10? MCA is the class for roll number 10. I would like to change it as the text. Okay, I write this query. Not equal to, let me write in 10 and 11. Okay, so my intention is for both 10 and 11. And again, guys, don't focus on the command. Focus on this area. Command, I will explain it again. Okay, where ID equal to 10 and 11. My intention is 10 and 11 as of now, the branches are, classes are MC and BTech. I would like to convert this into the test, some unknown branch. Now select this command. After clicking on update, click this, check this area. See, this one is showing two rows affected. That means there is a change in two rows after executing this query. Okay, after executing this query. See, if you see 10 and 11, the branches are changed. So basically what happens is whenever you execute a query, okay, whenever you execute a query, it will show number of rows affected, the number of rows affected. In similar fashion, in front end also, execute. Can someone tell me what is execute non-query? Whoever tells this, I will offer them free Python class. What is execute non-query? Anyone? What is execute non-query? You can think and let me know. I will give you 2 minutes of time. See, you know what is command? Command is the SQL command class. This is the object. And what is this? Execute non-query. You guys can hear me, right? Speak, someone of you. Yeah, fine. So what is execute non-query? See, command, command is the object of the SQL command class. What is,
Predefined methods, sir.
okay, who said? Sai,
Naresh.
Naresh. Okay. So Naresh said that is the method. Let me see what others says. See, I don't want you guys to blindly write the code, listen, and leave the desk. You need to understand the pattern. Anyone else? Will you be trying to do it? See, Naresh, he have already good experience in .NET. Okay. I don't surprise when he give me the correct answer. Okay. I'm expecting from other team, other guys who is trying to learn it. Okay. So see, in a class, how you create the classes and methods? Similar to that, execute non-query is the method, predefined method. You know how to create class, you know how to create the object, you know how to call the methods and all. Similar to that, this is the predefined method. See, method with no parameters, that's it. Okay, it has no parameters. Okay, so and what are the types of methods we have? Anyone? A return type, non-return type, like this we have, right? So this is the method. See, if you look at that, int SQL command dot execute non-query. So basically, you can read it also. It see returns the number of rows affected. This is what you are seeing here. 2 rows affected. If you try to read the AI that is giving, execute a translate SQL statement against the connection and returns the number of rows affected. Okay, returns the number of rows affected means this one will return number of rows affected. I need to capture them. Can it capture them? So basically what happens, what this query will do is, this query will execute query means when you click on this, how the query is executing, it says 2 rows affected, right? That 2 will be assigned to this one, to the rows, just like capture the return values. So we said there are different types of methods, method with return type, no parameters, method with parameter, no return type, method with parameter with return type, and without parameter and return type. Like this, we have discussed many things. Okay. So I have told you when we discuss about those concepts only, if we don't understand, you will be struggling in the future. And still, there is no issue. Go back and read those concepts. Okay. So basically, rows, it will capture the figure, how many rows are affected. Okay. How many rows are affected. The reason we need to capture is we need to understand, right? When executing the query, suppose, if I keep like this, user ID like this, if I try to update the command, see, it will show 0 rows affected because there are no rows exist with these IDs. So clearly I have to know, are there any rows positively affected or not? I need to check that condition. So I will check it if rows greater than 0, I will say message box dot show insert success. Just like message, validation message. If rows are not greater than 0 means there are no rows affected. Okay, no rows affected. Okay, else just message box dot show something went wrong. Nothing affected. You need to convince the message. Okay, so this is very important point you need to understand. The rows, number of rows affected in the backend, that can be calculated by this one. Now run the application and already debugger exists so that you can check out. Okay, so enter the name, test user at gmail.com. Okay, enter class LKG or something. Enter it, save. Okay, keep executing. Focus your mouse on rows. See, rows one it shows means one row is affected. Okay, so it will say insert success. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is the way the front end and back end works. Okay, this is the way the front end and back end works. Okay, I will send you this code alone, and the SQL commands you have in the back end. I mean, the material I have shared with you, there is very clearly explains how to insert the values into database. In fact, there is more. Even we do not cover all those parts, maybe we will cover in the future. I will give you some work. Like I said, I will keep watching your assignments starting from this stage. Okay, so keep this code. Now the assignment is create a table. Name of the table is employee. Okay, so table name, it should be EMP, and the columns you need is EMP ID, auto increment, auto increment, and EMP F name, first name, EMP last name, EMP middle name. Okay, so EMP department, EMP salary. Okay, enough. Okay, so with these columns, you have to create a table in the backend. Okay, database table, you have to create it. Okay, so you need to create it. After you create this, in the front end, you have to design the form. Okay, in this, the new thing is auto increment will take automatically first name, last name, you have to insert middle name, you have to insert the department. It should be the drop down. Okay, here keep one drop down. In the drop down, add the departments IT, sales, marketing, um, support. Four departments you can keep it. Whatever value you will choose, that department has to save into the respective table. Okay, so create a backend table, establish the connection, and like I said, keep the text boxes per department, keep the drop down. When you click on the button, it has to insert the data into backend. See, if you would like to disable the debugger temporarily, go to the build menu, click on disable all breakpoints, then it won't stop in the breakpoint. So give some name like this, click on save. Okay, so it will show insert success, right? Once you click on OK, it has to clear all the text boxes. Whatever information that exists here, it has to clear all that information. And the cursor automatically have to focus in the first text box. This username text box. It should focus automatically here. So in that way, it would be more convenient. Okay. So this is the assignment for tomorrow. Try to practice it. Let me know if you have any doubts in class. Okay. Uh, so here total, I can see 8 to 9 members in today's class. Uh, Guys, I'm going, as of now, I am in out of station. I am in some remote area. I got time to take the class today, but tomorrow I'm not sure. In worst case, at least 1 hour class I will take, but I will keep updating around 7 or 7:30. Uh, are you guys just say yes or no in the chat box? Can you attend the class at 7 o'clock tomorrow, 7 to 8:30 like this? Say yes or no. If not possible, you can tell me that, no issue. But I will update on that part also. So Naresh, yes, Sai, yes, others also. Can you attend the class at 7 o'clock? Okay, okay. Others, Dinesh, Srikanth, Shegal. Okay. Dinesh, are you there? Dinesh there? Yeah, Abhishek. All of you, please respond. Okay, Dinesh, yes. Abhishek? Okay, I will do one thing. I will ping you in the morning because I'm traveling actually. When I will have the signal, when I won't have the signal.